if you can download the documents. It's a PDF document and also a PowerPoint document with 2 slides. So you can do this in the meantime till we're waiting. And you can send me a short message by the chat if it's working or not. Okay, I suggest that we should start, and let's see if Lee will join later or not. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. So where is it? This one should be it. So for today, I prepared our kickoff for the project work. And before we're gonna take a deep dive into this, we will clarify, as always, some organizational stuff. And yeah, the most important part is how our lessons in the future will work. So because of some appointment conflicts and so on, we decided together in the coordination team that from today on you will receive Thursdays lessons. If it's possible for you, we're going to extend these lessons from 2 to 3. That means from 12:30 to 15 in Germany and 18:30 to 21. And we will use these lessons to talk about the project work. I will give you some support and guide you with supervision. We will discuss self-study results, and we will as well talk about content repetition, about the marketing and consulting content, and you will receive new content. The other 2 weekly lessons, you will process by self-studying, but guided self-studying. That doesn't mean that you only read as you like, but you will receive some papers or models, case studies, sometimes a video, and you will receive some tasks, questions you have to answer, and we will also discuss these results in our Thursday's lesson. So first question to all of you, does it work that we extend the Thursday lessons to 15 and 21 or 9 p.m. in China? Just a quick information by the chat. I don't know why the chat is not working. Okay, I also sent my question in the chat. So is it okay for you? Does it work? If yes, then we're gonna fix this. Okay. We will just take a look on the schedule. I will share my my screen. Just a second. Again. So this one. Okay. That means from now on you will have lessons every Thursday, but there are some exceptions, as you see, the yellow ones. So we already had these lessons. We have one canceled event. And today we are here. So next week on Thursday, we have the next lessons with 3 hours. And in the meantime, you will receive some tasks and a paper, as I already mentioned, for your self-studies. And usually you will receive this information and tasks on Thursdays after the lesson, or latest on Friday. So you will have at least 1 week to work with this. You will receive every task and information via Slack, and I created a new channel. As you can see, there's a self-study challenge channel, and I will post every task here, and also links or documents. So you will find everything here, and you can also use this channel if you want to discuss a task with other students. So this is welcome. And I would appreciate if you would use the channel to communicate with each other, and to help you help each other by fulfilling the tasks. Okay, so what I will do is then send you later on the updated schedule. So you see we have these changes in May. Usually it should be the 21st, but there's bank holiday in Germany, so we will move the meeting to Wednesday, and the same here on the 10th instead of the 11th. We will also move it. Due to the changes, we have to extend our lessons as well for 1 week. So it will not be the 25th, your last day, but the 2nd of July. But there will be no changes regarding your project work. So project presentation will be in that last week of June on 25th. And self-studying will be a reflection of your presentation performance. So no more content in this week, and then we have a final event on 2nd of July. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I will switch to the presentation again. And so what I want to do with you today, as I said, is a project kickoff meeting. That means I want to support you to align your project work ideas. You received the task, or you choose your topic last week. It would be entering a new market, and you had some time to read the case study around these 2 companies, the RPA business RPA company, and as well the consulting company, and Transformation Now. And what I like to do is with you not only to do the kickoff and clarify what everybody has to do and do the project planning, but I also want to provide a new method to you, because as you remember, your classes is not only marketing, it's also consulting, which contains aspects of project management, process management, and as well. And so today you will learn a new method in project management, or some new methods. And we will need some interaction today. And but first, I'd like to give you some information around the Project Canvas method and why it can be useful. So the Project Canvas this is some literature which might be interesting for you. The Project Canvas itself, I will show you later on what it is. But you'll find a very interesting website. It's called Over the Fence. It's an initiative, I would say. They did not develop the Canvas method, but they further developed it, and they creating a lot of tools around the project Canvas to work better with this. And they also refer to this model of thinking fast and slow. Maybe you have heard of Daniel Kahneman. He found out that our brain is working on two levels, system 1 and system 2. I will explain that later. And you will find a lot of information in this book, and a lot of tests you can do as well. It's very interesting how our brain works and how it fails often when it comes to perception. And these are my the most important recommendations if you want to do a deeper dive into the Project Canvas idea. So this, where you see the Project Canvas, it's like a journey. As you can see, there's someone who's looking into the future, and there's the result, which will be received by the customer. But before you can hand over the result of a project, of course, you have to make a journey, and this. We will work with this tool. It should help people to align with their project ideas, because what we often experience in projects is that people have they have one task, like you did. You receive one task by me for your project work, but you have different ideas about this task and about the result and the quality of the result, everybody of you. And this tool will help you to bring all these ideas together. And it's based on the business model Canvas. Maybe you've seen that, to create new business ideas. And we will also work not only with the Canvas, but you will learn new methods of facilitation, how to work with the tool. It's not only, it won't be successful if you will just work on it on your own, for example. And there are different ideas how we can talk in a better way with each other to understand each other more clearly. And I want to do a little experiment with you. So please get pen and paper. You don't need to write a lot, but it would be helpful if you could write it down. So just get a pen and paper. Okay. I assume you already got what you need. And
sorry for coming late. Just
highly,
go to the supermarket.
Okay, so I will give you an update about the organizational part a bit later. So for you, the same, get a pen and paper. And then as everybody else, take a look at the picture. And there are two questions I do have. And you have 30 seconds for each question to write down to write down an answer. Okay, first one is, what do you see? You have 30 seconds to write down, what do you see on the picture? Okay, so come to an end, and there will be the second question. What had happened? If you take a look at the picture, what had happened? Write down your answer. It's just for yourself. We will talk about that. What had happened? Okay, let's come to an end. So I would love to know, yeah, what have you written down? What do you see? I want to hear two persons who want to go first, who wants to let us know what he or she sees on the picture.
A fall down tree and the waiter and on the road. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who else want to share her idea? What do you see? Okay, I'm gonna call someone. Zoe, what do you see on the picture? Okay, Ray. It's writing some second nature and artificial. Okay. Someone else who want to add something, you are it's also welcome in the chat. Write down something.
Maybe you should just call the name.
Yeah.
Seems our girl is a little shy.
Shadow of Trees. Written by Chen, right? Okay. So we already noticed a broken tree trunk by the road. So what we realize is that you notice different aspects on this picture. And now I would like to know what had happened. What did you write down to the question, what had happened? You can also use the chat. I want to see at least one sentence by each of you. What had happened?
The tree changed that white line.
The tree changed its status? Did I understand?
The border?
Yeah.
The border of that white line.
Okay. And what else? Liang. The white line isn't straight. That's what you see. Okay, and what had happened? Zoe, maybe you want to share your idea what had happened? So Ray is writing, the white line felt so sad that it bent. Okay, that sounds pretty creative. Okay, anything else to add what had happened? Okay, let's gonna stop this here. One more answer. The trunk occupies the road, so the worker bypassed the trunk while drawing the line. Yeah, this all might have happened. But what we already realized reading and listening to your ideas, especially to the second question, is that you came up with pretty creative ideas what might have happened. But if we are really honest to ourselves and each other, we don't know. So the only answer could be, I don't know it. And this is what I wanted to work out with this experiment. Yeah, you see a picture and you see what's on the picture, and you are there are a lot of assumptions creating in your mind, and but we haven't been there at this place, so we haven't been there at this special road while the picture was taken. So the right answer can only be, I don't know. Of course, sometimes we have to work with assumptions. Yeah, we are in situations where it's not possible to find out what really had happened or what the situation about. So we have to work with these assumptions, and they help us also to to survive. We have this kind of autopilot, that's working
Mhm.
automatically in our brain. It's called System Number One by Daniel Kahneman, and and it's working really good, and it helps us, as I said, to survive because it doesn't needs a lot of energy. So because it's automatically working, doesn't need a lot of energy, and as well, there are a lot of situations where we don't need any more. Yeah, it's just fine. So when you're driving a car, or for example, when you're opening a door or a window, just to use the hand bar, we expect that it will work the way we are used to it. And we have to rely on this because imagine if we had to overthink every single decision we are taking. So is the glass, for example, is it working when I'm drinking, and so on? Does it contain really water? And that's important, but there are a lot of situations, especially, for example, when we're working in a project, we need another system working as well, the system number two, which is much more, which is our analytical mind. And here, just two other images to show you that these assumptions that something like a misunderstanding or that different opinions are just normal.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to ask something, Lee? It was just.
I mean, the last picture let me thinking aloud. Because it seems we all want to be Sherlock Holmes to
Yes.
figure out what happened exactly, and the correct answer is I don't know. Yes,
Uh-huh.
of course we don't know. We just want to figure out what happened behind that.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, I forced you to be a bit creative with the questions I ask you. Of course.
Yeah. So we go a little further or a little far away from the original question.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with some answers. That's right. And as I said, I forced you to do so in a way, maybe because you maybe thought that I would expect an answer, which is not, I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
That maybe you should know something and should be able to answer. And we are in real life and project life, in our business life, but also with friends and families, we are very often in a similar situation that we think that someone is expecting that we know something. And so we.
I don't think it's a cultural difference.
Yeah.
If you ask Chinese for something, it's just like you do an exam and you cannot write I don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, of course, and it's not only Chinese culture. This is also in a German culture. It's nobody feels very comfortable to say I don't know.
okay.
Of course, I agree with you that this might be more intense in your culture than in a German culture, for example. But I think in every culture, it's something we have to learn because, or if we want to work in a proper way with each other. And maybe we'll find solutions where we don't have to say that we don't know, but we can ask questions, for example, or so just to come together a bit closer. Yeah.
Yes, totally agree.
And not to rely on these assumptions. And yeah, these two pictures you see right now with the 6 and the 9 will just show you that sometimes also we think that we are right, because for us it's totally clear. For the guy on the left side, it's totally clear that's a 9 from his perspective, but from the other perspective it's a 6. And it's the same with the picture down there with the 6. So it's always, or it can be, there can be a difference due to other perspectives. And sometimes, yeah, it's very important to understand that sometimes it's only an opinion and not a fact. Because if we take a look at this, there's no, or the fact is that there are different perspectives, and that for one guy it's looking like a 6, and for the other guy like a 9, and for a third one it would be totally different. And we have to find out these opinions and perspectives, because it helps us to see the bigger picture. So I think this is the most important, and therefore you don't have to say, no, I don't know, but you can say, from my perspective, it looks like, or as far as I can see, it seems to be. So, but what do you see? We should add a question to understand what the other person is seeing. And back to the project work, especially in project work, we have to work with a lot of challenges which come up very spontaneously, and therefore it's much more important not to do assumptions and to assume, for example, that some other team member will do this because, of course, it's part of her work package. If we didn't ask the person if she sees that it's part of her work package, we never know if she realizes it or sees it the same way. Just back to this two-system idea from Daniel Kahneman. As I said, usually our brain works with the system 1, the autopilot, and there's an additional system 2. And this picture just gives you an idea how this system 1 is just working, and with a lot of assumptions, and it helps us to survive. And the system 2 is most time not even in the conscious mode. So we have to find ways how we can wake up our system 2. And it's not, as I said, it's not bad to have a system 1 working intensively, but we have to find ways to motivate our system 2. Because we always think fast and sometimes also slow. So it's not an fast or slow, but an and. And yeah, to come to an end regarding the way our brain thinks. So for project work, or also in a private situation, but we are here in a project context, a misunderstanding is a natural state. Usually we think misunderstanding is developing, but it's the different way around. So when we come together in a project team and we haven't worked together, or we have worked together but in a different kind of setting with a different project task and so on, misunderstanding is this natural state, and we have to find ways to develop understanding. And this is where the project canvas method might help. So this is one tool. There are different other tools. Some people do not need this special canvas because they're very clear in their communication, but they had to learn this too. Usually it's the way like this, that when people come together in a project, for most of them, the project work or the topic they're working on is new. And it's a totally new situation, and they have to learn how to adapt on this situation. And therefore, it's very important to have the same mission in mind. I already explained that the canvas idea is based on a journey, and because the guys from Over the Fence, they made some surveys and they asked people what comes up. How would you explain a project? And most people, like 60 or 70%, mentioned it's kind of a journey, because you have a beginning, you have an end. In the meantime, there can happen something, you never know. You can do a lot of planning, but there will be also some surprises coming up, like you see this the wind, or also like here's this dolphin or shark. Good things and challenging things. And yeah, you need some resources, people, a boat, some money to do that journey. And in the end, you will find another place, hopefully in the sun, where you can hand over your project result to the client. So this is the visual idea of the project canvas, why they use the journey, because for everybody it's totally clear and it's easy to understand. And you've already seen it first. Here again, there are two versions of the project canvas, and the canvas itself can be downloaded on the website of project of Over the Fence for free. You can do that. The link was on the previous pages. And the second version is, so here the clean canvas, and the second one, there are some questions written down, because the idea to how to work with the canvas is to use special question set, and therefore they created question cards, and these question cards will guide you through the canvas. And so we will start with the purpose. What's the topic? What the purpose of the project? We're going to hand over to this green area. Who's the client, the customer? Who will receive the result? What's the result about? Is it a service or a product or whatever? And what are the quality requirements given by the customer and also maybe by the team? Then you will go over to the aspect of time. What will be the start and the end of the project? Is it possible to move the project start or end date? Are there specific relevant milestones you have to reach at a specific time? Then you go through the yellow area with budget, team, and resources, which means who is part of the team and how much resources and capacities do they have. Do we need other resources like, for example, special IT equipment, whatever. And the last ones you will gonna check is the waypoints. I call them milestones, where what are the waypoints where you maybe finish one work package and have to decide how to go on further. And you will also take a look at the risk and chances. This is just a brief overview. We will work with this later. I will explain to you in a quick run how we will work with the project canvas. Then we're going to have a small break, and then we're going to use it in a practical way. So what we did now and before was a very extended intro, because I did this experiment with you. I explained to you something about system 1 and 2. usually you only use like 15 minutes to explain the project canvas and the idea with the journey as well, and what's the goal or the objective, why we are working with the canvas, because we want to align the project ideas in your minds. And then you're gonna start with the project canvas work with a team. And that means that the client or one person who knows a lot about the project will introduce the project, explain what the project about. This will take like 5 minutes, no, 1 to 2 minutes. Then one person will guide through the canvas, asking the questions. I already stated some of them, but you will be guided through the entire canvas, and another person is writing down the answers. And then in the middle, this will take about 20 minutes. Then in the middle, this usually takes 30 minutes, but it depends on the project, of course. You're going to try to create a project picture. That means the person who wrote down the ideas, what the other person had said, will guide through the canvas again, telling what he or she understood and maybe what she or he wants to add and what open questions are. And then in the next round, also part of the middle, the person, the client, the one who was talking first, who was have been interviewed, can add some information. And when this is finished, we will come to an end and maybe rethink the project picture together. That means, okay, maybe we have a different understanding and so on. And then you can come to a discussion. What you will realize is that in the start and the middle part, especially in this part, there's no discussion allowed. Yeah, it's a strict interview process. One person asking questions, other person is answering, and then another person is doing a repetition after all. At the end, only in the end and in the conclusion, discussions are allowed. This is the way the over the fence people found out how you can reactivate or activate your system too. Because what usually happens is that you are trying to explain your idea of your project and another person is going to dive in, and there's a discussion coming up, and you will never talk about all the relevant aspects of the project, because maybe you found out that you have disagreement already when you're talking about the purpose, and so there will be no chance to come together. And yeah, this is why they created some methods how to stop this conversation in the beginning of the introduction of the project. The conclusion part is just a part where you say all parts or everybody who was part of the project canvas before can say, okay, I'm fine with that project description, or I'm missing something, and you're going to talk also about the next steps. Of course, there will be some open topics you cannot discuss and come to a final conclusion during this session, but you have to write them down and then you know what to do next. So this is it for the moment. The basic input about the project canvas. What kind of questions do you have at the moment? What's open for you or maybe not clear? So no worries, we will try this after the break, and I will guide you through every phase, so you don't have to worry if you maybe did not understand every detail how the process will work, because we will go through that step by step. Okay, so no questions coming up at the moment in the chat, so I would suggest that we take a break for about 10 minutes. until 1:30. So someone wants to play music for the break? Yeah, Ray, as I said, no worries. I will guide you through the process after the break. So maybe we're just gonna listen to some music until 13:30 or 1:30. No, it's a bit later in China, of course. So we will be back in 10 minutes. Enjoy your break, stand up, do some dancing or whatever you like.